Yes, people, welcome back to another video. This time we've got the Liverpool preview. A huge game coming at us tomorrow. It's a big one, man. It's always is. There's usually blockbuster battles with us in Liverpool, and fortunately at the Etihad, we're doing quite well against them. Now, is tomorrow going to be the same tale? I don't really know. Firstly, please like the video. It helps us out massively. It helps other people find the channel. Helps other people subscribe and that. And also, yeah, subscribe to the channel if you are new. This video is sponsored by the boys at Boohoo Man. Boohoo Man have the plan for you if you've got some special drip, and it's even better today because you got up to 90% off, mate. 90%. That's huge sales because it's Black Friday. So go check out Boohoo Man. They'll have something there for you. And if you want to do some last minute or some Christmas shopping, I should say, not last minute, but Christmas shopping and that, and now's the time to do it on today, Black Friday sales, especially with 90% off. You can't go wrong with that. And yeah, go check them out. The link will be in the description. It'll be a pinned comment as well. So big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring this video. Right, Liverpool. It's one that usually at Anfield we always dread. I mean, I still kind of dread it now, even at the Etihad. They've been our main rivals for the past, like, say, 4 or 5 years, give or take. Arsenal last year, that was their dip-off point. And I think now this is really telling for them. Obviously, it's us and Liverpool at the top of the Premier League right now. I think they've got to really test themselves against City and see where they're at and see what their season's kind of looking like. They've had on paper a very hard start to the Premier League, so that's why in the back of my mind I was always like, you can't write them off yet, even though they were a bit further down than the rest of us. But they've worked their way back up now. They are second, and they can leapfrog us if they get a result. If they beat us, obviously a draw keeps us above them, which is fine. In terms of key battles, I think looking at the left-hand side, I think that's the main place that people are talking about. Do you start Jack Grealish? Do you start Jeremy Doku? I feel like we have this debate every week nowadays. Now, there's pros and cons for both sides, and if you start off with the Chelsea game, I know it's a completely different game to this, but Chelsea away, we started with Doku, and a lot of people were calling for him to be taken off and Grealish put on, and we should have started with Grealish to have more control of the game, because that's exactly what Grealish offers you. He offers you more control. Yes, some people prefer the style that Doku brings, taking on a man, driving him, but it's a bit more risk and reward with Doku, and most of the time it is reward because he's really good at taking on a man. But Grealish brings that pause. He brings the control back into the side. He knows when to hold the ball, when he draws fouls, things like that. I think a lot of people that I've seen so far in our streams that we've been doing this week are favouring Grealish in this game. Me personally, I'm kind of leaning towards that. I'm leaning towards the Grealish side, but I'm all Doku's just exciting, man. He's an exciting player, so I kind of want to see Doku driving at Trent, but the idea of having Grealish on that left-hand side who can like do first 60 minutes or so, maybe draw some fouls from Trent and Kanate, maybe if he plays, potentially get them booked, and then we can bring on Doku. I think that would be good. If we can get a goal up, 2 goals up, obviously in a nice world, I think bringing on Doku at that point would be a nightmare for Liverpool, because they'll need to push forward to get a goal back, and then that should leave space in behind for Doku. But then the other way around, you could start Doku, start with your best team, people say, don't they? So start Doku and then hope that he can take on Trent. He could probably get Trent booked as well with the way that he takes players on. We know Trent isn't as good defensively as he is going forward, so I imagine Trent will push forward a bit, but we have to wait and see on that front. Like I say, I'm leaning towards the side of Grealish, but I want your opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Which side are you on? Grealish or Doku? Let's move on to the other wing. We've got Phil Foden. For me, he has to start. He's incredible against Liverpool. The guy turns it up, man. He loves a game against Liverpool, Phil Foden. So I have to start him on that side. I think it'd be a miss if we didn't. People might say start him in midfield because of Kovacic. There's obviously the embargoed section of the press conference comes out 10:30. I did the press conference reaction at 2 o'clock or 1:30, whatever it was, and there wasn't really much to go off. The stream wasn't too good with the news, especially with injuries. We knew that Erling Haaland is back in training at 6 p.m, but we'll kind of get all this information a little bit late. And because they trained at 6 o'clock today, Pep had already done his press conference, so we didn't really get too much information on fitness. So I imagine Ederson will be back. It was only an ankle strain or a foot problem. I imagine he'll be back in the side straight away. John Stones, I think, is the most highly unlikely to come back into the side. They thought it was serious at first, and it was a little bit better, but I still don't see him being back for this game. I think I'd be buzzing if he was, but personally, I think you're going to see Akanji and Diaz. Kovacic apparently injured, apparently not available for this game, and Nunes apparently has picked up an injury as well. Now we'll have to wait and see if they're available or not. So midfield-wise, it's a bit weird one. So obviously Calvin Phillips ain't going to play in that CDM role. You've got Rodri in there. You're going to be playing Bernardo Silva in that midfield. And I think it'll just be Alvarez again. I know we did that against Chelsea. Alvarez went missing a little bit, but with Kovacic not being available, I think you're kind of forced into that anyway. And Alvarez has been sick this season for us, so he's allowed off games. And I think Chelsea, yes, was an off game. I think Pep will rework it, hone it in for this, and hopefully he can make a difference. So I'd be starting with Rodri as the CDM with Bernardo and Julian Alvarez, and then up top, obviously Erling Haaland. On the right-hand side, Phil Foden. On the left-hand side, I'd 100% be going with Grealish. I've full made my mind up now. Turns up on big games as well, Grealish. Had a sick game against United. He played sick against Liverpool last year. Bring Doku on at 60 minutes, and he can go at their defence, mate. Honestly, I've got the plan in my head. I can see it already. I'm giving myself positive reassurance right now. That's nerves for you, that. Ederson in net, obviously, like I say, I think he'll be back. In the defence, kind of again, I think it just picks itself. I think Ake picked up a knock. Not sure what his time frame is, or I think he might actually just be back, Ake. But I'd be going with Kyle Walker on the right, Akanji, Diaz, and Vardiol. I know Vardiol had a little bit of a nightmare against Chelsea, but trust in him, man. Trust in him. He's been really good for us this season. He had a wobble, obviously. He shit the bed with that goal, but let's hope it doesn't happen again, especially against like Mo Salah and that. But give respect to their attacking. Liverpool have got a very good side. Obviously, you'll see Nunes playing. You'll see Jota probably playing. You'll see Salah, obviously. McAllister. Hugh said in our video the other day that he's not available, but I've seen people say now that he is. So if he's available, he'll be straight into the side. You've got Szoboszlai as well, who's meant to be really, really good. I've not seen too much of him, but I've heard a lot about him. So they got them in the midfield. Then you'll have Van Dijk. People are saying Van Dijk is now back. Van Dijk's back, baby, but I'm not really sure if he is. We'll have to wait and see. People will be hyping it up, man. Him versus Erling Haaland. People will be looking at that battle and seeing if it's... seeing if he can pocket him, and if he does, then the Van Dijk stocks will go through the roof again. But hopefully it doesn't go that way. I think he'll be paired with Konate. Konate loves the yellow card, by the way, so you need to be driving at him. But he is a powerhouse, man. He's a powerhouse defender, him. So I imagine he'll play. Robertson's out, so people were saying that Tsimikas, is it called? Tsimikas, he'll be playing left back, and then right back will obviously be Trent. So that, and then obviously Alisson in net. That's my kind of City side. The Liverpool team there for you. They're the kind of two that I'd expect to be going head-to-head tomorrow. 12:30 kickoff. I think Liverpool haven't won at the Etihad since 2018. Might be wrong on that. You can correct me in the comments. It's been a while. Obviously, there's been a fair share of goals in them games. I don't see this being a 0-0. I don't even see it being a 1-0. I think City... It's going to be a basketball game. Honestly, I think there'll be loads of goals in this. My score prediction for this game, I'm going to go 3-2. I think there's goals everywhere in it. I think it'll be close. It's going to be disgusting. But hopefully, like for Premier League and everything, it is another blockbuster match. But yeah, that's usually what it is with us and Liverpool. And if Liverpool come away with this with a game like that they can be happy with, like even if they lose but take away a lot from it and be like, look, we were close to them than like last year when we battered them at the Etihad. If they can do that, then they'll say, oh, the gap's shortened a little bit from what it was last year. I think it's very telling more from Liverpool's side of where they're at, what's their level right now, and they'll test it against obviously top of League City and see what the situation is there. But yeah, let us know in the comments your score prediction and whether you choose Grealish or Jeremy Doku on that left-hand side. Bit of a short preview. It's only a video. Hugh's currently flying over to Manchester to go watch the game, and he'll be doing fan cams straight after. Entrance P, fan cams. Be there if you go into the game. You can have your opinion straight after the match. I'll be doing the live watch-along sat right here with you lot. So, yeah, join me for that, and we can have a laugh and hopefully City win. And, yeah, go check out Boohoo Man, Black Friday. Get your sales, mate. They've got sick drips, sick clothes. Everything I'm wearing right now is Boohoo Man, mate. Down to the boxers, mate. Boohoo Man is the best place to be, and especially when there's 90% off. So go check it out. The link is in the description. It's also the pinned comment. Big up to all. Have a good Friday night, and see you in the morning.